Unlock the cinematic potential with the Sony FX3 with these settings. From frame rates to color profiles, here's how to get that movie-like quality with every shot. Stick around for more pro tips. So this is a camera's basics setup. So right now I am checking the camera settings and I can see that the previous camera uses settings on the camera. So I'm going to go into setup, reset, save settings, settings reset, and then camera settings reset, and then press enter. This will reboot the camera. Now, NTSC is a recording format predominantly used in the US, and this is a progressive scanning format. Progressive formats are always used in the film, so make a note of that. I'm now going through the camera settings and I can see that the camera has reset as it now is shooting at 59.94 frames per second, which is not cinematic. Now, usually you would set your camera's shooting settings now, but I'm formatting the card, which you can do now. So you format the card. This wipes the card clean from any previous users. Always check with the previous user or the DIT, the digital image technician, before wiping the card to make sure that all the data has been backed up before you do this. It's really good common practice to do this, especially if you're working on small sets. Now that has been done, it's time to set the file format you want to record on. Now, XAVC is Sony's file format. Now, I want you to click the HD, as this is the beginner's settings. I want to keep it nice and simple. If you click 4K or anything higher than this, it will take a lot more memory in your memory card. But to keep things simple, just pick HD for now. I will be making an advanced video settings, but we want to take this nice and slow and progress you guys easy into this. So once you've done that, you then want to go to recording frame rate. Now, the industry standard for film is 23.98 frames, also known as 24 frames per second. And this is the perfect image to get a nice, smooth, cinematic image. When it comes to bitrate, I suggest you pick the highest settings that your camera can provide. This ensures the maximum image quality. Now, when you are picking the log shooting, you want to pick Cine EI. Now, this is the most cinematic setting on the Sony FX3, and this will activate the color gamut S-Gamut 3 Cine S-Log 3. Now, this flat color profile will help you collect the best image, because this will collect all the highlights and the shadows and the most information to give you the most flexibility in post-production. Embed LUT, you want to turn this off. Now, when you keep it off, if you prefer to apply and control LUTs entirely in post-production without any influence from the camera's metadata, for more flexibility in color grading, many filmmakers leave this option off, allowing them to start with a pure log image. If you keep it on, you can if you want a consistent preview of your footage across different devices and softwares that supports LUT metadata. Grid line display is on rule of thirds. Leave it on as you are beginning, so it'll be good to practice on how to use the rule of thirds. If you haven't seen the previous video, go and watch that. Now I'm going through my settings. The frame rate is perfect at 24, but the shutter is way too high. The shutter should always be double the frame rate, so you need to bring this down to 1/48, which I'm doing now, as you can see. Now, there are a few more things you will need to do once you've finished setting the shutter speed. As you can see, the frame rate is correct, the shutter speed is correct, the base ISO is perfect for cinema, and this is the display for monitoring. So I would turn this to S-Log 3 so that I have an accurate representation of my exposure. You can set up an external monitor to then view this color profile of Rec 709. And the white balance you want to do manually. You don't want it on auto white balance, but I will do that in a separate video because this video will be too long. So I will do a part 2 with the how to set the white balance and the exposure through peaking and the focus.